This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2023 Flagstaff E-PRO, model number 19FD. Alright, so this is not a floor plan video, it's a how-to video. So I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work, okay? So you have regular crank down stabilizer jacks. Takes a 3/4 inch crank, which comes with it. In here is the sprayer, and it has a quick connect fitting on it, so you can connect it to the spray port. Okay. Now this is for the grill and a utility table or utility table, and this is the quick connect LP fitting for the griddle. Okay. If we look here, let me see here. This is the quick connect hose for the griddle. This one clips onto the back of the griddle here, right? And then of course this one goes into the quick connect under the trailer. This is the griddle itself and the rail it hangs on, okay? Alrighty. So your water heater is right here. So, let me see what we have here. So the switches to control the water heater are inside the trailer. This works on LP gas or AC current. So there's a 110 AC element behind this cover here, just so you know. I'll show you the switches when we get inside. This is the drain here. It takes 1 1/16" 6-point socket. Okay, so you have to have that with you. Now if you drain it, which is typical, you know, if you're not going to camp for a while, people drain them. Always make sure you refill it before you turn it on next time. That's very important. Don't just put the plug in and fire it up. You want to actually make sure you fill it. So make sure you take care of that. Like I said, I'll show you the switches when we get inside. Never vent it or drain it or work with it while it's still hot either. Okay? All right. So like I said, the grill rail here, that's where your griddle hangs. This is just your furnace vent. You've got outside speaker, you got a power awning with LED strip. You have a lock, which works like a regular lock, or you have a keypad on it. There'll be some stuff inside your packet that tells you what your default is, plus this I believe has the default on it also, yeah. So that purple tag has your default. You can set the code to whatever you like. All right. Okay, I think all the way back, if you can see it back there, that's also under the sofa, the jackknife sofa. That's your dump hose back there. Okay. This is just storage for your hitch. Now your hitch is a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. We'll show you how that operates when you pick up. It's a good one. And this is just if you wanted to add a solar panel kit to charge your battery. This one's made by Go Power. That's all it is. It's pre-wired for a little kit to charge your battery. Okay. You have two batteries on this one because it does have a inverter, right? It converts and inverts electricity. Conversion is turning 110 AC to 12 volt DC, and inversion is just the opposite, inverting 12 volt DC to 110 AC. Okay, I'll talk to you more about that when we get inside. 2 LP tanks with automatic changeover regulator. You have your power tongue jack. Now if this happens to fail, you can remove this part of the bike rack and pull this plug here, and you can actually use a socket or your crank, your 3/4 inch crank, and you can actually crank this manually to get yourself out of trouble. So keeping that in mind, you can always get unhitched no matter what. Also, one thing you can't see very well, you have to kind of trust me, but oh my goodness, there is a kill switch with a key right there. I'll have to see where they put the key, but I'll make sure you have it. But it's right there in case you want to shut the battery off. Okay. Docking lights here, which is just the lights on the front of the trailer. This is your crank here. 3/4 inch. It comes with a wheel also if you want to use the wheel instead of the pad. And this is just, you probably won't need this, but you keep it anyway. Using this, you can change the position of your bike rack if you need to, but that should be good for any application. That's why they give you the straight one. The straight one actually is made specifically for this trailer. So when you set this up, every other one of these, what should we call them, stirrups, goes the other way. This holds two bicycles, one on this side and one on this side. So when you set it up, every other one's going to go that way, so you can hold a bicycle on each side. Okay? Alright. Alrighty, so this is a reducer for your power cord. You have a 30 amp, 30-foot power cord, and this will reduce you down to a 20 so you can plug it in home or in an emergency, okay? This is your dump hose I told you about, and this bag just holds your cord if you want to put it in there, your power cord. Alright, so the most common way to get water to the trailer is through the city water hookup, but if there's no city water, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here, and then you can, when you get to the campsite, you can turn on the electric pump and it'll pump water for you just like you have city water. So even if you're boondocking, you'll have plumbing, so that's a good feature. This is the vent for the range hood. If you're going to be running the fan in the range hood, always make sure you open this baffle up so it flaps freely. That way it can vent to the outside, right? When you're not, you can keep it shut when you're traveling or in storage. Just make sure if you try to vent to the outside, you open that baffle. Of course, your power cord, your dump valves. All right. Black and gray. Black is toilet water and waste. Gray is sick of shower water. Coming over here to your water now. This is the city water connection. This is the most common way you would get water to the trailer. I just showed you how to fill the tank if you don't have city water, but there you go. This is for antifreeze. You'll have to educate yourself a bit on winterizing. That's where you draw the antifreeze in. And this one, I might have this backwards here. No, this is the antifreeze here, and this is your black tank flush here. So after you dump your black tank, you can leave the black tank flush valve open that I just showed you on the side of the trailer. Then hook your a city water hose right to here, turn it on, and it'll flush out your black tank, so you get a really good, it gets cleaned really well, plus it'll clean off your sensors so you get a good reading, that sort of thing. And this one you'll have to learn about. This is for winterizing. Okay? These stickers just tell you the ladder is a 250 pound capacity. Don't use it with the black tank flush without the valve open, and that's for antifreeze, okay? Now it comes with a ladder, which is great because the manufacturer states every 60 days you should inspect the roof. So what you're looking for is cracking or separation at any of the sealant where water could get through. You're looking at the roofing attachments and the roofing material to make sure it wasn't damaged by low branches or road debris. You're just staying ahead of any problem. So you give it a quick look over, be very careful, and you stay ahead of any possible roof problems. You have to inspect your roof because you can't see it, right? So that's important. It should be part of your regular maintenance. And this is a hookup for a backup camera. If you wanted to get a Furion backup camera kit, it would attach right there. So you have that. And then this is where the sprayer I showed you, the quick disconnect, it'll attach right there. Okay, so let's go inside. This is a great setup because it has the Murphy bed in it, right? I'm going to set this down because I don't like it sitting on the couch. I need to put it there, so bear with me a second. Okay. I left this in here for you, just so you remember. All you have to remember when you're operating the Murphy bed is this knob right here. You can see it up there? That's this knob right here. Before you move the Murphy bed, especially raising it, you pull out on that knob, otherwise you'll bend the pin that holds it into place. So you always want to remember that you have to pull that knob and the attached pin before you raise the Murphy bed up. It's a safety device that keeps it from folding up when you don't want it to, okay? Well, right now it's folded up. When you bring it down, this jackknife, this sofa jackknife's flat, so you just jackknife over it. Okay. Now, I told you that this trailer inverts and converts power. To invert, that means going from 12 volt DC to 110 AC, you use this right here. You just turn it on when you want to invert. It sends power to the receptacles, and you could use a blender or any AC appliance for a limited amount of time, of course. But that's what it's for. So if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you have an AC appliance you need to use, you would do that. To shut it off, you hold it for a few seconds, then take your finger off of it. You don't need it inverting all the time. Just when you need it, you turn it on, okay? So that's the inverter. That goes from 12 volt DC to 110 AC. Now, this is the converter here. This is typical of trailers. Your pop-up had one. So this converts AC to DC power. So you start with 110 AC circuit breakers here. When you're plugged in, it converts the power to 12 volt DC over here, right? So that's where you get your DC. It's also a battery tender, so it'll sense how much energy your two batteries up front need, and as long as you're plugged into shore power, it'll always keep them charged. So it's also a battery tender slash charger. So that's an excellent feature, of course. So this converts from AC to DC, and that inverts from DC to AC. Up here, what we're talking about power, first of all, they haven't set your source properly. Let me do that for you right now. Okay, so it's set to flooded, which is good because you have a flooded battery. Two flooded batteries. Come on now. There we go. So right now, there we go. So right now, it's telling us we've got 13.7 volts in the system. Hopefully you can see that. The only button you're going to push here is B, because it looks at the batteries as one. Okay. So you have your gain from the sun right here. Then you have 100% charged, and you have 15 amp hours into it, right? Now, I have to look because I didn't prep this trailer, but right now it's saying 0.0 is coming from the sun. That can mean two things. The most common thing is that it's completely charged. If there's no room for storage in the batteries, it will go to 0, and then it'll start flashing FUL, and you won't be able to use any of the buttons. That's just saying that it just shut the panel down because there's no place left for storage. After the level in your batteries drop, it'll go right back to normal readout, okay? So this also is an app. You can read more about it to learn all the features, okay? Now your TV is not just a TV, it's a TV and a radio. It's got FM radio, it's got Bluetooth, 2 speaker zones inside and outside the trailer, so it does a lot, okay? Also, you can drop your table down onto these cleats here and turn it into a bed for an extra person. This is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It's just like you have in your pop-up. It should always be green. If it's not green, get it serviced. It's very important, of course. Your refrigerator is a 12 volt DC compressor refrigerator. So it has a compressor like your refrigerator at home, but it just runs on 12 volt DC. Okay? Also, there's a switch for your refrigerator, which is great because look at it this way. You got your solar panels charging your battery while you're in storage, right? If you have the refrigerator on, well then it's going to be taking all that energy and it's not going to be storing much because it's going to be using it up to keep your refrigerator going, right? So you can just simply shut your refrigerator off and all the solar energy will go into your battery for storage, so you have plenty of battery power when you need to start camping, when you're going to use it, right? So don't be remember you could shut this off when you're not using the trailer. Just shut the refrigerator off. Now I just had a moment here. The reason it's showing us 00 is because the battery's shut off right now. I told you that the key was pulled out. That's why. I'm going to talk to whoever set it up and find out exactly where they put it. It's probably in here somewhere. Okay. Now this is the your remote for your television. This is for your smoke alarm. And then you have a towel rack, a toilet paper holder, an extra collar for a dump hose. If you install these, we don't install them and the factory doesn't install them, but if you choose to, remember, it's hard to find a stud. There's aluminum studs in this trailer. It's hard to find one, and you're just going to be going into 3/16 panel, and it's easily pulled out. Most people will use the portable toilet paper roll holder, or things like that, okay? It's up to you, obviously. This is your stuff here, all your literature for it, right? And let's see what else we got. Okay, all right. Let me just look around here so I know. All right, this is the table that goes on hangs next to your griddle out on the outside, right on that rail. This is a tire monitor if you choose to use it. You can read about it. There are sensors inside your tires that are attached right to the wheel itself, and it's directly across from the valve stem. So when you're setting up, you'll get this real close to those so you can read them. This will just tell you your tire pressure, the temperature of your hub, that sort of thing. So that's something you can educate yourself about there. Coming back around, this is the control panel, and as usual, there's an app for this too. But your awning, power awning is right here. Connect to the app is right here. Wi-Fi booster is right here. That's your Wi-Fi Ranger. Wi-Fi Ranger is on your roof. It's a signal booster for public Wi-Fi. You can see if you look up here at this sticker, you can't see very well, but it says Tenton 4435. That's the name of your Wi-Fi Ranger, right? So you get all your family's devices together and you'll put a password in for Tenton 4435. That way it'll automatically hook up to it. Then in a browser, you go to this bottom control panel number, which is an address. Obviously, you type the address in the browser, it'll take you to the web page for this. You type in the middle number, which is a temporary password, change me now 4435. You'll have to make up your own password for that. And you log onto it, and it'll show you everything the Wi-Fi Ranger sees, right? So you pick out let's say the campground Wi-Fi you're going to use, you pick that out, you log onto it, and you get super good Wi-Fi. So it's a Wi-Fi booster plus a router. So keep that in mind and learn more about that, but it's an excellent feature. Your lights are here. This is to connect to the app here. Your water heater on gas, your water heater on electric, your water pump. Remember I told you about the water pump. Use that for pumping water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. You also use it for winterizing the trailer. And then you have tank heaters, so all your tanks have heating pads on them so you can extend your camping season. Just like that. Okay? All right. This is the range hood. We talked about using make sure the vent is open if we're going to run the fan. You can learn a little bit more about the stove or the oven, but the main thing is, I don't know if he's got the gas turned on here, but this is the sparker. No, he doesn't. But this is the sparker here, so you're just going to turn it on and spark it. And it'll light. You got 3 knobs, 3 burners, plus the oven here, okay? Always travel with this in the down position. Microwave works like any other microwave. The only thing to know in here, 2 things to know in here, are you got a 4-speed fan. It's a great fan. It's got a cover over it so you can open and close it. Right now they've got it open. I'll send it out closed. Right? And you can lock it by pushing this black knob up, but you don't have to. Got 4 speeds. If you ever have condensation issues when it's that time of year and you got a bunch of people over and you're having fun and it's nighttime, if you ever get any condensation, just turn this on low. You won't hear it. It'll suck all the condensation out. You'll never have an issue with it. Now this is an eco device here. This is your shower miser. I'll go over this real quick. It's a water circulator or recirculator. What it does is while you're heating up water, it doesn't just send it down the drain. So it won't send perfectly good fresh water down the drain, which is wasting water plus taking up storage in your gray tank. What it does, it sends it around in a loop, right? Let me get it right to there. And so it sends it around in a loop. As it heats up, it just goes around and around and around. As it heats up, this will turn a beige color. Once it turns a full beige color, you know the water's hot. You can put it into regular position and it works like a regular shower. Like I said, it's an eco device. It doesn't waste fresh water while you're heating up the shower, and it doesn't take up space in your gray tank while you're doing that. So it's a really good feature. Don't hesitate to look at the literature and go to the customer's or the manufacturer of the particular appliance, go to their website and look at their product videos too. That's a good way to learn. Okay? The only other thing is the thermostat, which is right here. Works like any other thermostat. The emergency window works like this. You just open it up, push it through, and then you would grab the tab and pull the screen out. You can exit. Okay? In an emergency. So that about covers it. I'm going to find that key for you, find out where you put it. This is a water filter, an inline water filter that you use. You just put it in line with the hose, hook it to the side of the trailer, and then put your city water hose on there, and it filters your water for you. Okay? So that about covers it. I'll make sure that you're registering gain from the solar panels once I put that key in there, and I'll make sure that your battery is in the smoke detector where it belongs. Okay? Okay, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. If you have any questions, just ask us during the when you're going through the trailer. Don't forget to inspect your roof every 60 days. It should be part of your regular maintenance. It's very important. People, generally speaking, don't do it enough, but you want to inspect your roof to stay ahead of any issues, protect your investment, that sort of thing. And right now, this is in camping mode, so there's no antifreeze in the system. It's all fresh water. The water heater valves are in camping position, so the water heater is full and ready to go. If you drain that water heater, make sure you fill it before you turn it on, okay? Thank you.